Greetings, my brothers of Gamma Pi. I can't begin to tell you how thrilled, excited, and humbled I am to come before you once again and talk to you about the three objectives and projected outcomes I have for if I should be elected as the next bosses of Gamma Pi. I really wish I had some theme music to go along with this, but I'm going to be brief, brothers, and just try and not take up too much of your time. But the last time I came before you, it was all about those three objectives. And what I want to do now is just to give you some clarifying points for each one of the objectives. So real briefly, I'm going to remind you of the objectives, and then I'm going to just one by one talk to you about some of the projected outcomes. So the first one was to present at the workshop a draft budget that had been developed through conversations and analysis with the Executive Council and our committee chairs. The second objective was to stimulate excitement, enthusiasm around reclamation, as much as we have around MSP. And my third objective was to present a 100-day action plan that gave the chapter, you, my brothers, clarity, transparency, and accountability. So what I want to do now is I want to go in and talk a little bit about that draft budget and what I think what the outcomes of that objective would be hoped for. So we all know that throughout the year, Gamma Pi has those things that we traditionally do that are obligatory in nature that we always do. So we need to plan for those, make sure that we have those in the budget, and it's based on us looking at our calendar, evaluating those things that we know are I guess you would call them our priority items. But then along with that, each year we're faced with pop-up items. These are items that we didn't foresee coming. However, they do have redeeming value for us as a chapter, and we may want to undertake those missions. Now, what we want to do with those pop-ups is we want to be able to look at them as they come to us and balance them off against those things that we have prioritized, so that if we do decide to change some of our priorities, we're able to simultaneously take a look at how that's going to impact the resources that we may have planned for downstream. So brothers, I think that those are very important things that we need to do to ensure that we have a successful outcome as we go through our fraternity year. Once again, it would be a draft budget presented at the workshop. Now, in order to present it at the workshop, we could not begin at the workshop planning it. The goal is to try and come together immediately after the elections and start working on that budget so that once we get to the workshop, we have a draft that we can present. That will allow the brotherhood to comment, make recommendations, changes on those things that they feel need to be reevaluated. From that point, we would be able to then, between August and November, finalize the budget. So when we begin our fraternity year in November, we're able to hit the ground running. So brothers, that's my number one objective. Now, eventually, as I go through in my next video, the other two objectives, you'll notice that I haven't talked about my accomplishments, the things that I've done as a member of Gamma Pi, because I really don't believe that it's about me. Brothers, what I've done, those of you who have been here in the chapter, you know my work. Those of you who have not been here in the chapter for that long, well, those things that I did are in the past. Whoop-de-doo. They're past, they're passé. What we want to focus on is the future. And I don't want it to be as much about the man as it is about the mission. So I want to talk to you in subsequent videos about how we're going to together attack our future and sustain those things that have worked well and make adjustments to those things where we find together that we need improvement. So brothers, I thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and I look forward to talking with you again.